Hey guys, here today to do a review on the oh, sorry, Beretta 9000S 40 caliber compact handgun. Here's what it is. Now, the reason I decided to do this review is because I hadn't seen very many on YouTube, and the ones that I did find were, 2 to 3 minutes. They weren't very in depth, and the other ones were in Spanish. Now I'm going to go ahead and clear this. There's around in the magazine. I do have this with Winchester jacketed hollow points in it. I keep it in the house loaded for home defense. That's the reason I got it. It is a little bit heavy for carry. While you could do it if you had a good holster, it is a little bit heavy. I'm not quite too sure on the actual weight of it, but it's around 27, 28 ounces. And it is unloaded. It is a really good handgun. I haven't had any problems with it. I took it to the range when I first got it and put a box of Federal Champion through it, and it worked great. There were no problems. Accuracy was left a lot to be desired, but I think that might have been a lot of me because this trigger, as you can see, and we are unloaded because I will be pulling the trigger, it's very long and very stiff. It's about 9 to 10 pounds, and it breaks really far back. It breaks right about there. And the reset on it is actually quite, it can fool you, because if you can hear this, there's a click right there, but it doesn't do anything. It resets all the way out. And it took me a minute to get used to that. No safety on it. The guy I got it from actually put the safety plugs in it, so there is no safety. Normally when the safety's on there, it is ambidextrous. It's a good little gun. The magazine release cannot be flipped around. I am left-handed, so that is it actually works pretty well for me. It's not too stiff like some of them that I've looked at. Takedown on this gun is kind of a pain. You have a little lever right here, and sorry about the lighting, it's not that great, and a little pin right there. You got to push that in and pull this down. And you flip that all the way down and it just slides forward. And again, it just comes apart. You got to capture the recoil spring on there. There are 2 springs in there. Plastic guide rod, which if I can find a stainless guide rod, I will probably do that. Because I'm not sure, the guy who I bought it from didn't have a ballpark of how many rounds he put through it. So it kind of, I don't know when or if it'll break, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And then your barrel, it just pops right out. The slide is the open slide design like most Berettas, and everything just goes right on in. It's a good little gun. Takedown and cleaning on it wasn't a problem. I cleaned it in about 10 minutes. And now when you go to put it back together, there's a little pin right here. I don't know if you can see it very well. No, you can't. There's a little pin in here. It slides up and down. And when you're going to put the slide back on, if that's up, the slide will get stuck. It did it to me, and I almost freaked out for a minute. The sights on it are pretty good. They're really low, and the front sight is a little small for me, but I'm looking to get some new Trijicon sights for that. Like I said, I keep it for home defense, and I don't know if I would carry this when I get my license, but I don't see a problem with why you couldn't. It's a good little gun. 10 plus 1 in the magazine, or 10 rounds in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber. Let's see what else. What else we got here? There is sort of a loaded chamber indicator. You can see the extractor right here. When there is a round chambered, it kind of pops out a little bit, and there's a little red line on there. I wouldn't want to rely on it because it's hard to tell, but it is there if you look close. Now, one thing I didn't like about this gun is that when you shoot it, I only put 50 rounds through it at the range because right now, as you all know, handgun ammunition is hard to come by. And I was actually lucky enough to find some 40 caliber ammo at a local Walmart and went ahead and got 2 boxes, which was their maximum for a day. So I didn't shoot them. I didn't shoot all 100 rounds because I want to go back to the range eventually and just shoot it a little bit more, get a little more used to it. But after 50 rounds, I noticed that right here in the webbing of my hand, it was really sore. You didn't notice it when I didn't notice it when I was shooting, but whenever I got done, I was on the way back to the house and was like, man, that really hurts. It's kind of sore, but it went away, so it's not too bad. It lasted for maybe half an hour, and I got over it. Now the magazine, it's not. Talk a little bit about the magazine. You can get finger extensions for this. When this is in, I could barely get 3 fingers on there. So when I was shooting at the range, I pretty much just kept my finger down there because it was a lot easier for me to concentrate on shooting when I didn't have to concentrate on making sure my pinky was up there. I'm gonna take this magazine out. Magazines, they're steel. It's a really good magazine. The spring's not too stiff. You can easily load all the way to 10 rounds. I've looked online for magazines, and they're pretty expensive. They run about $45 that's from Brownells, and right now I don't have the money for that, so I just have the one magazine, which I don't mind because I got this gun for a steal. I was actually trading my PSE compound bow, and a guy said, hey, I've been looking for one, would you mind doing a trade on it? And at first he only had a couple of little guns, a couple 22s and a Kel-Tec 9, which I wasn't too comfortable with trading my gun for a Kel-Tec. But the next day he texted me and he said, hey, I forgot I had this in my safe, what about this? And I said, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Picked it up and been thoroughly impressed. I really like it. The slide, I know I'm jumping around here a lot, but this is my first video, so you're going to have to forgive me. When it locks back, that slide release, that slide lock is not hard to actuate. I can do it fairly well. Well, I said I could do it fairly well, but normally I'll just flip it around to this hand. And now it's not wanting to do it because I'm doing this video. When I first loaded up with these hollow points and went to put around in the chamber, I noticed a problem, but it's not. With the hollow points, it has a little bit of trouble when you slow feed it. When you just rack the slide back and just let it go slowly. A small tap on the back will get rid of that. But I also noticed that if you, it doesn't have a problem. So, other than that, it's been really reliable. I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have any issues with it at the range. And for a little home defense gun like I was planning on using it for, it's really good. And for the money, I found them for about $350. Some guys on armslist.com were trying to sell them for $550, and I didn't. I was kind of skeptical of that because I don't know anybody who would pay almost $600 for this gun. I don't believe it's worth $600, but if somebody's willing to pay it, I guess somebody will sell it for that much. Like I said, I got it. The bow was probably worth maybe $300 at best, and the guy who gave me the gun for the bow said, this is a really good deal. So about $300 is what you can get this for, and if you're looking for a good, solid home defense gun, this is not a bad option. I would not tell anybody no on this gun. But I wouldn't really. This wouldn't be my first option. Like I said, the grip is uncomfortable. It's Beretta's first polymer frame pistol, which for their first one they did a pretty good job. I will give them that. But it does hurt. Now, for a home defense situation or a self-defense situation, you're not going to notice that. You're not going to notice the pain because the adrenaline rush is just going to be over the top, and you're not going to notice anything but what's going on right now. After a while, you might start realizing, but that's going to be the least of your worries at that point. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and thanks a lot.